Today, we're going to be looking at one of the oldest, if not the oldest, civilizations in America, the Olmecs. Yes, the Olmecs, a black civilization here in the Americas. The role of the Olmec in Mesoamerica society is a matter of hot debate between archaeologists and anthropologists. The Olmec colossal heads are the most famous artifacts left behind by the Olmec civilization. The Olmec people are believed to have occupied a large part of modern-day southern Mexico. The Olmec civilization is what is known as an archaeological culture. This means that there is a collection of artifacts thought by archaeologists to represent a particular society. What is known about archaeological cultures is based on artifacts rather than texts. So the reality of the situation is that they really don't know. It's all speculation. There are several Olmec sites thought to be important centers for activity. The Olmec created massive monuments including colossal stone heads, thrones, upright slabs, and statues. They are most likely the originators of the Mesoamerican ball game, a ceremonial team sport played throughout the region for centuries. They also built earthen mounds and pyramids and ceramics of several types that became common throughout a broad region influenced by the Olmec civilization. Did you catch that? They created mounds and pyramids. Now you tell me, what people group throughout this planet, throughout this world, have created and built pyramids? And no, it wasn't aliens. And just for the records, the builders of the pyramids throughout this planet were all black people. The Olmec civilization is one of the most influential ancient civilizations of the early Americas. It is commonly thought to be the mother culture of many other cultures that appeared in the region years later. However, many historians trace all these cultures back to their shared Olmec heritage. So in essence, the Olmec civilization is the first civilization in the Americas. Now, when studying the stone heads from the Olmecs, one of the things that is rarely seen is the back of the heads. Now, the back of the heads reveal braided, plaited hair. Now, I ask you folks, what group of people braids their hair? What group of men braids and plaits their hair even till today? It is obvious it's us. Our people do that. That is part of our culture, and it has been for thousands of years. Other cultures of men do not braid their hair to the extent that our people do. Yes, black people throughout the diaspora braids their hair. And I don't care what anybody else say, we know that to be true. So those heads, that is further proof who those people were. Yes, those people who built those stone heads were without a doubt black people. And of course, we know that our beautiful, amazing sisters have hundreds of different styles of hair braiding. That is a black thing.
According to an archaeologist who recently participated in archaeological work in Mexico, one of the most ancient civilizations in the Americas, the Black Olmecs developed a calendar that goes back to about 3,113 years before Christ. The archaeologist who appeared on the Art Bell show made that point. The ancient Olmecs of Mexico and Mesoamerica are one of the most intriguing civilizations of the Americas. In fact, they are the first civilization in Mexico, and it was from them that all other civilizations in Mesoamerica followed. Yet, the fact that the Olmecs were most likely a black civilization of African origins has not been made public, and the Indian elements in Mexico have gained more prominence to the extent that the Negroid substrata of the ancient Mexican/Mesoamerican civilizations has been kept hidden. Yet, over the past many years, Various levels of proof have been found linking the Olmecs to Africans in the western part of Africa.
Studies done by researchers like Dr. Ivan van Sertima,
Alexander von Withu, and Runoku Rashidi and others have presented evidence that clearly show that the Olmecs were not Indians with baby faces or Indians who looked like blacks, although a few Olmecs did mix with the Native Americans. They were Africans no different from Africans found in the Mende regions of West Africa. Studies done by Clyde Winters show that the Olmecs used the Mende script, a writing system used among the Mandinkas and other Africans in West Africa. When the writings on Olmec monuments were translated, it was found that the language spoken by the Olmecs was Mende. The Olmecs practiced a religion and astronomical sciences identical to those practiced by Africans in the Mali region and Nigeria today. The Olmecs studied the Venus complex in astronomy. Today, the Ono and Bambara, who are famous sea and river travelers, have studied that same complex for thousands of years. In fact, another group, the Dogon, are well known for the tracking and mapping of the Sirius star system and their accurate results. The Olmecs also had a religious practice of thunder worship where the axe was a prominent feature. In West Africa, the axe is also a prominent feature in connection with the Shango or the thunder god worship. Both the Olmecs and the Shango worshippers in West Africa place an emphasis on the religious significance of children in their religious practices. The Olmecs carved about 22 colossal stone heads in the southern parts of Mexico, and their influence have been found in Guatemala and further south. Olmec-type sculptures have also been found in parts of the U.S., where another prehistoric black nation still exists to this day. The Olmecs and Washita, black Californians, Jamasi, Califunami, and other pre-Columbian blacks of the Americas were part of the prehistoric trade network that began in Africa and spread worldwide over 100,000 years ago and at various periods afterwards. According to the book, Socioeconomics, The History of Pan-African Trade, Commerce, Money, and Wealth, these blacks found in the Americas, as well as remnants of their ancient civilizations, are not a myth or fairy tale. The ancient blacks of the Americas are the missing pieces of a large puzzle that would be solved if many of today's writers, scientists, historians, and archaeologists were not as biased or embarrassed like the Mexican archaeologists who found out without a doubt that the Olmecs of Mexico were black Africans, and they introduced the first astronomical calendar to Mexico about 3,113 years before Christ. Not only is there an ancient black African presence and contribution to the creation of civilization and culture in prehistoric and ancient America, but there also is such a presence and contribution in Mesopotamia, Sabia/Arabia, India, Cambodia, southern China, and Melanesia/the South Pacific region.
So the bottom line is, black people come from everywhere. I will encourage everyone, never let someone else tell you your history. Never let someone else tell you who you are, because it has been proven that everything that we have been given has been false history. I mean, let's face it, they told us that the Egyptians were not black. They told us that the original Hebrews were not black. However, when you do your research, we find that the information that we've been given is not accurate. Basically, it's a lie. So again, I say, never let another race of people define you. Never let another race of people give you your history. We are intelligent enough to do our own research. And when we do our research, we find that we are a great and mighty people. The Black Excellence and Abundance channel, where black history is every day. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, thou art rich.